The next thing I'm going to show you is carding. You can hand card or drum card this fiber. If you want to spin a woolen yarn, I suggest using your hand cards. You can pull rolags off of your drum carder, but I find that they are less suited to fine woolen spinning. If you're going to do something more creative, thicker, if you don't mind texture, if you're going to spiral ply, you know, there are all sorts of times when that will be just fine. And again, this is just my opinion. So for hand carding, there are several different techniques that people will use. The first step, regardless, is loading up your card. You want to do it with a light hand, brush against the teeth, let it fill up on its own. You don't want to overfill your card. Now, again, if you're going for something more artistic, more creative, then you can pack it on and do a big chunky rolag. I'm demonstrating light fluffy for traditional woolen spinning. Now, there are several different ideas about what's proper carding. There is a school of thought that says you always have to use one card in your left and one card in your right, and that you should mark them so that you are always and forever using them in the same hand. I don't do that. I've never taken the time to study to see if I am wearing down my cards faster. I don't know. That's kind of the theory, is you wear your cards down faster if you don't do that. Whatever. That's personal preference in my opinion, and I don't like to do it. So some people say that you just want to brush lightly against the top. And when you do it this way, you're always leaving some of your fiber on your other card. And then you transfer it, and then you transfer it again, and then you begin carding again. That's fine, and it works very well. It's not my preferred method. When I card, what I like to do, and these cards have a curved back. Some cards have a straight back. I've always used curved back cards, so I can't speak to the efficacy of straight back cards, but for the way that I do it, you need the curve. So what I do is sort of a rocking motion where the teeth go in slightly and pull out. And when you do it this way, it combs your fiber and it all transfers from card to card. Then I switch hands rather than switching the fiber. It's the way I like to do it, and I will show you why at the end. So I'm going to card this one more time so you guys can see. I roll and flick. Now when you flick back, you want to make sure you're not catching these little fibers on your card. You want to clear the card completely and grab. I love doing it this way. It's very easy on my hands. There's none of that pulling. There's no resistance, so my arms don't get tired. This is the deal. I have this beautiful carded fiber on here. I'm now going to pull it off to make my rolag. And when I do that, it's one beautiful layer, okay? Let's get back. And then I'm going to roll my rolag against the teeth. The teeth are facing towards me, so as I roll, none of the fiber is catching on them. And look at that beautiful puff. Love it. That's going to spin a beautiful woolen yarn. Now, this way will also spin a beautiful woolen yarn, but I don't like it as much, and I'm going to show you why very quickly. So, I find that when, and I'm just going to do it my combing technique because I'm better at it that way. When you are, well no, I'm going to do it just to comb. Okay, so, okay, when you use a technique where you've got some fiber left on each card, there we go, we've got some fiber left on each card, and you're ready to make your rolag. So you're going to comb to one comb, and then comb to the other comb. And now you've got 2 layers of fiber there. And I don't know how well you can see that. But I find, personally, that it doesn't make as nice and tidy of a rolag as when I do it my method that just uses one layer. So there you go. That's my thoughts on hand carding. I love these. There are times when I will just sit in my chair with a good movie and a cup of wine and hand card. It's relaxing. I don't spin a lot of woolen yarn and I don't hand card often, but it's just one of those things, sometimes it's just as therapeutic as the spinning. So I do recommend having them.